River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Niner Nuts. I'm Dan here along with Eagle Eric. No, Mr. Jimmy B. Again, he is off this week. He's prepping. I can't even make up a lie. Like, I was gonna joke that he's out partying already or like in pregame for the Eagles, but he's at an undisclosed location and
he is kind of partying.
well, yeah, that's true. No, without saying too much, but yeah, he will be back next week to react to the Super Bowl. But he did give us his blessing on this ticket. He's not fully MIA. And we're here on a Thursday. We are aware we are here on a Thursday. It's because I'm busy this weekend, so not strictly for the Super Bowl, but I'm busy when we usually tape this, so that's why it's a day early. But if we just jump right into it, guys, as we usually do, it's our last parlay of the year, and we're going to try to go out with a bang. We haven't won since week 1. We're aware of that. But we've come pretty darn close, and we're pretty darn confident on this ticket. So let's just go ahead. We'll call this our Super Bowl preview, too, since it basically is.
Hey, if we win in week 1 and week 21, I'm perfectly okay with that.
Oh, yeah, with the payout between the two of them, I mean, pretty much makes up for what we lost.
Yeah, that'd be A-okay. This ticket would more than make up for everything we've lost.
Oh, dude, right? Like, this would more than double what I won in just my personal tickets for sure. Like,
yeah.
So obviously, Super Bowl Sunday at 6:30 this week. The Chiefs.
It's the big game, Dan. It's not Super Bowl.
That's true. If we're going to get sued, our Superb Owl ticket, our Soup Bowl, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't live on a rock. We all know it's the Chiefs and the Eagles. 6:30 on Fox. Tom Brady's calling this game because, of course, he is. So, basically, we can. You know what? I'll just walk through all of them, and we can just cherry pick the ones that we want to like. So. We went an alternate over under. I was perfectly comfortable with the over 45.5, I think it was, or
48.5.
Yeah, 48.5. I was perfectly fine with that personally, but taking it down to each team scoring 20 points, 39.5 for the line, that's perfectly fine with me too. Not track meet. I can agree it won't be a track meet, but the score, both teams being like 20-ish, maybe 30-ish, the winner in the 30s, loser in the 20s, like that seems pretty realistic for this game. Then we have our go-tos for every single time the Eagles are on our ticket: a Saquon touchdown, a Hurts anytime touchdown, and Hurts at least one passing touchdown. Devontae Smith and Kareem Hunt. Well, Kareem Hunt 60 total yards, Devontae 60 receiving yards. I called him out specifically in the suggestions. I saw a little blurb about how he played very, very well the last time that they played. And with McDuffie or whoever that number one corner is, he's going to be on AJ Brown. So I think this is going to be a really promising game for Devontae. And then feeding everything through Kareem. Jalen, 40 rushing yards. Seems pretty realistic, even though the rush defense against the Chiefs, I don't know. I can see Jalen breaking out. I think Jalen will have a nice breakout run, even though they're definitely going to try to feature Saquon on his birthday. Patrick, at least one passing touchdown, pretty much a given. Kareem Hunt had a touchdown to his 60 total rushing yards. Feels like another given. Like there's going to be a situation where the Chiefs are at the 1 and Kareem sneaks it in instead of Patrick. Travis Kelce, a breakout game. finally a breakout game since he was non-existent in fantasy this year. Super Bowl seems appropriate for it. 6 receptions, anytime touchdown. And then we decided to make it a little spicy with both field goal kickers, Bucker and Elliott, making at least 2 field goals. All right, so that is all of them. It just doesn't quite fit all in there, but yeah, no. What do you think about what insights do you have for this ticket?
Well, I agree with you. I don't really think that it's going to be, at least my opinion. I mean, both teams have such good defenses. I don't really think that it's going to be a track meet. I think we're going to be in for a little bit lower scoring of a Super Bowl than people kind of imagine and envision, and that's why I kind of suggested that we lowered the over there to that alternate. I'm thinking we're looking at something more like a 24-17, or maybe a 24-21, or even a 27-20 or something like that. I just don't think that it's going to be super high scoring. Both these defenses are really very good, and I can just see them stymieing, either offense on multiple occasions, and it being more of a slugfest. I mean, if you remember, and I know that you do, obviously, but a couple of years ago when they played the Niners, I mean, it was a slugfest of a Super Bowl. I mean, it was a very defensive battle. I mean, I think I'd have to go back and look some way to see what the over-under was in that particular game, but I'm betting you that the over was probably pretty high coming into that game, because the Niners offense was high-flying and the Chiefs offense was certainly more potent then than it was now. And that game ended up being just this big slugfest back and forth. So I'm kind of feeling like the game is going to be a lot like that again. The Jalen Hurts rushing yards, I think they're going to feature him a lot, and I think that the Kansas City defense is going to make him scramble a lot too.
I think selling out. I think they'll definitely try to sell out on the runs, which to this, yeah, Jalen being able to slip out from over pursuing, I could definitely see that happening.
I won't be surprised if the Eagles do, and I wish Jimmy was here to be able to talk a little bit more about it, because I don't watch the Eagles enough to know. But, I'd be interested to know how much run option they actually do run, because I could see them doing a lot of that, RPO, try to, run and do a lot of misdirection with Saquon, and then let Hurts take off with it instead, because I feel like Spagnuolo is going to really sell out to try to stop Saquon, and that's going to open up some opportunities for Hurts to pick up some yards. So I could really see them selling hard on that RPO fake to Saquon, Hurts keep it and go on a couple of occasions and get some big gains that way. And then I think he's just going to pick up a lot of yards naturally scrambling around because of that Chiefs defense. Threw in the Mahomes passing touchdown. I mean, the odds on that were actually really bad, but I mean, it moved our ticket a little bit higher, and I felt like it was pretty much a gimme. So why not throw it in there, right? For just something to have in there. The 2 field goal ones I thought were kind of interesting. Again, I think in a close defensive battle of a game, maybe there aren't quite as many touchdowns scored as people think, and both these kickers are capable of hitting field goals from long range, long distance. I know that both of these offenses can be aggressive and perhaps take away field goal opportunities, but I think in this particular game, field goal kicking is going to be important, and I think that both of these guys have a chance and an opportunity to certainly make a couple field goals on both ends. I mean, you're looking at essentially making one kick a half. I mean, that's not too exceptional there. And then while you got him on the screen there, Travis Kelce, I mean, you look historically at the stats for playoffs, and I mean, he's near the top or at the top in, most of these stats for a tight end, and sometimes in a career all time for playoff stats. And so, you figure you just kind of got to put the money on, where the guys had success. I think he's maybe second all time in receptions in the playoffs now, or maybe first, and then he's like first or second all time in touchdowns, or ridiculous stuff like that. So I mean, you figure the guy's got those kind of statistics, you gotta lean on him and try to get him in there. And then I went back and I looked And the Eagles are fairly susceptible to the tight end. In their divisional round against the Rams, Higbee had 7 catches for 55 yards. In the conference round, if we remember, Ertz had like 10 catches for a pile of yards. So, I mean, the Fangio defense gives up that stuff across the middle of the field. And they're willing to do that to not give up the big play down the sides or over the top or anything like that. They'll let you, let you just chunk your way down the field, kind of like the Niners used to do when their defense was really good, right? If their theory was if you could go and if you could actually string together 12, 13, 14 plays and score off of it, well, then good for you. You've done what you're supposed to do, but we're not going to let you beat us with one big shot over the top or one big play here, one big play there. We're going to, make you just get 3, 4, 5 yards at a time and chunk your way down the field, because every time you make an offensive play, that's a play for our defense to create a turnover, create an opportunity, create a loss, create a sack, create an interception, something like that.
Right.
And that seems to be what the Eagles are doing with their defense. So, they'll give up those couple of small plays and opportunities over the middle. So I think Kelsey getting the 6 receptions is pretty easy.
They're going to try to feature him. Like, it's
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, he's had a really quiet season relatively. Like, didn't make the Pro Bowl this year. Like, and I know he was one of the big fantasy, disappointments of the season. But, and he had a really quiet game against the Bills, too. Like, I think he still had 4 catches, but literally for, 10 yards. Like, some really pedestrian, per catch. But, it's the Super Bowl. Like, I need to hear a much more compelling argument to not think Kelsey's going to score a touchdown. They're going to try and make him get one in front of the millions of people that watch this game, and his girlfriend's going to be there. And I don't know. I will be shocked if he does not get 6 catches and a touchdown.
Well, again, I mean, I'm looking at it as the guy is like number 1 or number 2 all time in touchdowns scored in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs. So, I mean, the odds of him finding the end zone seems like it's probably pretty good. So I'll put my money on that and see what happens. But
yeah, for sure.
It's a crazy ticket. It's a hell of a way to go out. We'll see what happens. Do I think this ticket's going to hit? No, probably not. But I mean, just realistically, I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of odds. I mean, if this ticket hits, this will be one of those ones that you tweet out to Sports Center and stuff like that to be like, oh my gosh, look at this ticket that we made and we hit on, right? I mean, this will be one of those kinds of tickets, because I mean, it's ridiculous. But nothing on here is insane, right? Nothing on here is not very realistic. It's just the idea that we're going to get whatever it is, 13 things to all fall into place just seems unlikely. But it's going to make watching the game a lot more interesting, because I don't have much of a vested interest in the actual game itself. So
yeah, well, no, again, it's I don't know. These all seem objectively pretty realistic. I don't know. You made an interesting argument that this one could be kind of icky. The points, it could be a low score. Hopefully not, because that would just suck to watch. I don't want another Super Bowl 53 that's 13-3.
Yeah.
But no, pretty much all the rest of these. I don't know. We agreed that Devontae is going to have 60 yards. I don't know. Just something about AJ. I don't like AJ going against McDuffie. I didn't want him on there. Kareem Hunt, he's supplanted Isaiah Pacheco. That's why I wanted him instead.
Yeah.
Or I compelled to have him instead. And then score a touchdown too. It's, I don't know. That's kind of the fun thing, getting more into the weeds with betting this year than I have in years past. It's not that any one of these are necessarily bad. it's that chance of it's that, are they all going to happen?
Right.
That you have taught me, Sensei.
Yeah, it's the wackiness of making them all hit and all happen at the same time. So, but
did you see any particularly wacky ones that I don't have them up here. I don't have them up here, but just for banter's sake, there was a couple really wacky ones on there. It wasn't called Nuclear Holocaust. It was Nuclear Breakout, but it was spelled like Nook. And it was what was it? It was
Probably Hopkins doing something.
It was Hopkins going for like 150 total yards, and they called it nuclear fallout or something like that.
Oh my gosh,
that was hilarious. I will not bet that one. I swear I think it was like plus 2,000, something like that.
That sounds right. The only one that I saw, I haven't really looked. I just kind of did the ones for our ticket here. I haven't had a chance to really look through all the novelty props. But the one that I like and that I'm definitely going to bet is where's it at on here?
Is it the one that somebody is going to doink a kick? Because I saw that one and that made me
Oh
laugh too.
no, I'm going to bet the first touchdown jersey number. Because the first touchdown jersey number is either over 15.5 or under 15.5. And I'm going to bet that is under 15.5.
The first touchdown is going to be what? That would be Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae. Oh, wow. There's actually a lot. There's a lot of options under 15, actually, now that I say that out loud.
Yeah, I think all the Chiefs guys are under 15.
Goddard's 80. Yeah, Goddard's 80-something. Kelsey's 80-something. Is Hunt a single digit or
no? I think Hunt's double digits, but I don't remember what his number is.
I think Hunt's 20-something, if I remember right. I think he's still a traditional running back number.
But Mahomes is under.
Yeah, Mahomes is under. Hertz is under. AJ, Devontae are under.
Hopkins is under. Not Rice, but the receiver that they have. I'm blanking on. Worthy's
under. One.
Yeah.
Just watch it be a Lane Johnson like waving himself eligible, and he's 66.
I mean, that's fine. I just like that bet. I just think it's a really fun bet, so I'm going to take that bet.
I like that one too. If that could be a more traditional one, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I haven't looked to see what else there is, but
the coin toss. Are you throwing a single dollar at the coin toss?
Oh, probably, yeah. Yeah, probably. So I'll see what else comes up, but yeah, I mean, I'll do my goofy bets here, later this week when I get a chance to sit down on like Saturday with nothing to do and see exactly what happens. But
I tried to look for some like crazy ones for us. Like actually in our ticket, didn't add the one that I saw that I'm probably gonna do a personal bet on the Eagles having more than 5.5 people with a reception.
Oh yeah.
That one I really, really think will hit. Like I bet he will connect with more than 5 people. Or I guess it'd be 6 people at 5.5.
I like this one for Barkley to score 5+ touchdowns at what is that? 150,000, I think it is. No, 15,000.
I would bet 3. I would bet 3. I'm not gonna bet 5. That's just
yeah.
So
I mean,
funny.
It's just crazy.
A single dollar on that one just for poo and giggles.
Yeah.
Look for the one that says 7 total touchdowns between Patrick and Jalen.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, no, that was a real one I saw too.
Oh yeah, I see that. That's only plus 275. That's actually not very good odds for that at all.
Well, they're thinking that's going to be I would put is it an over under?
No, it's just a straight bet.
Damn, I would take the under on that because you kind of talked me into this one not being a shootout, like because it's Vic Fangio versus Spagnuolo.
I mean,
like I'm cool with the line that we had, the 39.5. Like I think it will be more than that, but like not by much.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of prop bets on here, so we'll see what happens. But
yeah, thank you, DraftKings. You actually came through this time. We asked you just a couple days ago, and you guys have delivered.
That's because they listen to the show.
What about Kendrick? I didn't actually see halftime. Like, I didn't even see a halftime tab. If there was any Kendrick ones, like, are you really familiar with his discography enough to feel comfortable like betting a playlist?
Oh no, not betting an entire playlist, but I mean, I would bet. Songs.
I'll admit I don't know his discography like well at all, or whatever you call it for like specific for like actual songs. I know discography is the albums, but like I'm not. I could not. You couldn't pay me to guess one song right like that he's gonna sing because I don't even know his singles that well.
Well, I mean, he's got a bunch off of his new album that I'm sure he's gonna do.
That did just win it did just win a handful. I think he won 5 Grammys last Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of those were for his previous album. I don't think his new album was eligible because it just came out not too long ago. But
okay, that's like the Emmys then. Okay.
Yeah, but like, I mean, he won for like that "Not Like Us" single that thumped Drake all summer long. So if you ask me if he's going to play that at the Super Bowl, I would say yes.
Dude, we need to know if Drake is going to be there. Well, because one, whoever Drake cheers for is going to lose.
Yes, this is true. So please root for the Chiefs, Drake. Please.
I mean, kind of like me though. I if you haven't noticed, I have a penchant for cheering for the loser more times than not. I cheered for the Bucks. I cheered for the Bills. I don't have exactly a great track record with cheering for the team that actually wins.
So, well,
minus us.
Yeah, we'll see. So, I mean, if we're going to talk about who's going to win the game and what the game's going to look like, I mean, I'm glad James isn't here because then I can say that I think the Chiefs are going to win.
Dude, I mean, I guess for our final predictions, like,
don't listen to the show this week, James.
I really as an objective podcaster, for whatever credit I have, I really, really don't want to be right that the Chiefs are going to win, but it's really, really hard for me to not think they're going to win.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I mean,
the Eagles are a great test to this is a great test for them to earn it, because the Eagles do have a phenomenal defense. When their offense is clicking right, they have a phenomenal offense. Mm-hmm. But just whatever voodoo magic or sacrifice they made, if they had an Illuminati sacrifice a baby goat over the offseason, I don't know what the hell they did, but the Chiefs are just they've been blessed, man. It's really hard to not just think they're gonna win. After all they've been through, they only lost to the Bills and that Denver game that basically didn't count. Otherwise, they get it done. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and I mean, I started saying on the show probably week 6 or whatever it was that until somebody beats the Chiefs are going to win it all and they're going to be the champions, and I'm just going to stick by that. So we've made it all the way here to the Super Bowl, and we're in the Super Bowl now, and I don't see any reason. I mean, the Eagles are good. I mean, in case James listens to the show, I'm not crapping on his Eagles by any stretch of the imagination. The Eagles are very good. And do I think that they could win? Yes. I think it's highly possible they can win. If that complete Eagles team shows up, or if for some reason the Chiefs can't stop Saquon Barkley, then it's a wrap for them. But if they're able to contain Saquon Barkley, and the Eagles offense doesn't show up like it sometimes doesn't for certain games, then they're in a world of hurt, and the Chiefs will just grind them into the dirt. And it'll be unfortunate that'll be the way that game shakes out. But, you're the champ until somebody takes that crown from you, and nobody's really been able to do it this season all along. Like you said, the Bills beat them the one time, and then the Broncos just beat them in a throwaway game. But, I'm always going to defer and side with the team that has the best quarterback. And right, wrong, good, bad, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback. And that's what leads me to think that the Chiefs are going to win, because when it comes down to it, he is always able to pull the right strings and make the right throw and do the right thing and help them to win. I mean, we've talked about it. Their situational execution of plays on the field is just unmatched, and you can't beat it. And you have to play a completely mistake-free, trouble-free game to beat them. And I don't know if the Eagles can do that. I mean, it's tough.
It's a testament to this coaching staff that the Chiefs have. Again, it's no offense to the Eagles. Kellen Moore has really proven that he is a great offensive mind, and Vic Fangio just reminded all of us that, oh yeah, you're still great. And Sirianni, for as much fun it is to make fun of him, he's a great head coach too. The way he pulled them out of the slump that they had last year to now, this guy's a great coach. All kidding aside, but when you're going against Spags and Andy, you have to be mistake free. And that's the challenge to them, is they have to be mistake free, because the discipline that the Chiefs have is unparalleled. You cannot make a mistake against these guys. And I remember 2 years ago at halftime, James was like, "Woo, we're up 10-0." And I'm like, "Bro, we are up 10-0. That is not enough."
No.
You really need to be at minimum 17 points, like, to have any chance of being the Chiefs, because 10 points is more than enough. Even 13 points is more than enough for them to come back. Like, because they go OP 99 in the second half, especially. I've never seen it. Maybe some Tom Brady Patriot teams that were as truly perfect in the second half, especially. And again, like the thesis I'm saying, like the Andy Reid is on pace, especially if he wins this game, to go into the Hall of Fame. If he wins this game, he will go into the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
I can't speak to Spags. Pat was a no duh after last year. Like,
yeah,
Pat was a no duh after last year, and Kelsey probably will too, more for personality. But
yeah,
but no, I mean that's not fair. He did produce very, very well before this season. This year's just a down year, but no, like there's a lot of Philly legacy on the line for the Eagles in this game, but there is real league legacy on the line for the Chiefs in this game, and they are very aware of it, and they will be out for blood in this game. So Philly's really got their work cut out for them if they're going to beat the Chiefs and technically upset them, since they're 1-point underdogs.
Yeah, I'm looking up Andy Reid's record after halftime with a lead. If I can find that, it's going to give me that.
What's the one stat app that's you have to tell me if you're on I have it on my phone. It's the one that looks like an elephant. I got rid of my app name, so I don't have the name in front of me. It's like Stat something.
Like Stat Muse or something like that.
Yeah. Stat Muse. The icon looks like an elephant, but I'm cool, and I blew up all my icons to get rid of the names.
Well, way back in 2018, Andy Reid was 43-6 when leading at halftime.
Jeez Louises.
I can only imagine that legacy and that record has gone exponentially higher since being with the Chiefs.
I would bet that. I was watching the football prediction, the Sentient Voice on NFL's YouTube channel that does like game breakdowns, and I remember neither of them are undefeated with a bye week. But Nick Sirianni only has one loss, and that was Super Bowl 57.
Oh, okay.
And then I think Andy's still single digits. I think single digits for his entire career. That's what I mean. Like, it's still impressive that he's lost less than 10 games after a bye week.
Yeah.
Like, since he's been coaching like
he's 21-4 after the bye week.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. And let's see. I'm trying to find. Here's another.
And then Nick's only one loss was Super Bowl 57 with a bye week or week off. Just stupid.
Yeah.
So, I really want to be wrong. I really, not just for James's sake, just for the league's sake too. Like, yeah.
I mean, Andy Reid's record is 733, percent with, or 0.733 with Kansas City. I mean, he's winning little over 7 out of every 10 games that he plays. I mean, it's just, I don't know. The odds are staggered against the Eagles. I mean, I don't know what to say. It just kind of is. So I mean, I would like the Eagles to win.
The Chiefs offense got healthy and started clicking at the right time. Like, really the best game they had this entire year, unfortunately for all of us, was the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Like, if they can be held to the pedestrian kind of level they were in the regular season, I'd feel more comfortable and say that the Eagles have a better shot at it. But damn, they look really, really good against the Bills.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I felt bad for Josh, because they were all like big, what do you call it? They were all splash plays to still keep them alive. But you just gotta be perfect. That's the only thing I'd be telling the Eagles right now if I were in that locker room. Like, gotta be perfect. Because the Chiefs find a way to grind it out, and every win this year was ugly, but that a win's a win's a win.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I mean, they win ugly, they win pretty, they win strong, they win a dirty game, not like illegal dirty, but just like a mix them up kind of, scrubby kind of game. I mean, they win every way that you can because they just have that coaching and all that just awareness in every situation. And it just is, it's something to behold. And it's like we saw with those, I link them back to the Patriots all the time, right? It's just like we just saw with those Patriots dynasties back in the 2000s. I mean, the Patriots were a juggernaut for a reason, and it was because they always executed exactly the way that they needed to on every single play, on every single down, every single snap, and in every single situation. And that's where the Chiefs are right now. And I mean, like, granted, the Patriots didn't win 3 Super Bowls in a row, so maybe the Chiefs won't win 3 Super Bowls in a row, but I don't know. I mean, we're on in a space where they have a real good opportunity. They have a really good team. And it's just going to be a matter of it's. I mean, and to me, it really just comes down to, can Saquon Barkley steal the show? If Saquon cannot break out and steal the show and churn out, I mean, he's got to have 100 yards and probably 2 touchdowns. If he doesn't have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns and at least one probably long house call out of all that, like maybe like a 20-yarder or a 30-yard run, it doesn't break like a 50-yarder or anything like that, but a 20 or a 30-yarder that he takes to the house, if they contain Saquon, I just don't think that the Eagles can do it. I mean, and I'm not trying to slight Hurts, and I'm not trying to say that the Eagles receivers are bad or whatever, but I just think when you start going toe to toe with the Chiefs in that scenario, I don't think that you can keep up if you have to rely. If you tell me that Jalen Hurts is going to drop back and throw the ball 45 times and that the Eagles are going to win, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, if Hurts has to throw that many times, I would not think they're going to win either.
Now, if you tell me that Hurts is going to drop back and throw the ball 27 to 32 times and Saquon's going to have 100+ yards rushing the ball, well, okay. Now I could buy into the fact that the Eagles might win that game. But not if Hurts has to just put the whole team on his back. I don't think he's ready. Maybe I'm wrong. James would tell me I'm wrong, and that's okay.
I think
I'll be happy to be wrong. But I don't think he's against this team and against this defense. I don't think Hurts is ready for that.
I think Hurts has some valuable experience from being here just 2 years ago, and for me, the key to really winning this game is they have to win in time of possession. If they do not win in time of possession, it doesn't matter how many times Saquon touched it. It doesn't matter how many times or how little that Hurts threw the ball. Like, I guarantee you, they win this game with time of possession. And if they lose, they will also have lost time of possession. Like, I cannot see them winning this game without winning the time. Like, that's the biggest key for me. Having a balanced game between Hurts and Saquon running so they keep the ball and burn the clock, and then sprinkle in the passes with the run being head on, the first and foremost. If they can take advantage, and get Spagnuolo from selling out and make him have to push back a little bit and call off some of the blitzes that because he's going to want to blitz like crazy. If they can keep the backs back so that Saquon still has room to run and they can control the clock that way, and they can just survive the onslaught of blitzes, I think they can do it. But it's a tall task to establish your offensive identity against a Spagnuolo defense.
Yeah, I mean, I looked back at the last time they played in the Super Bowl. Hurts threw for 38 times. He threw for 304 yards. He had 1 touchdown.
He had 3 he had 3 rushing touchdowns and almost 100 rushing yards, though.
Yeah. Yeah. He had 70 rushing yards. So, I mean, it wasn't like he played a bad game, but I mean, the point being is he still didn't win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like he threw for 300 yards. He rushed for 70. He accounted for 4 total touchdowns, and they still didn't win. So
it's
I
easy.
mean,
It's easy to scapegoat that fumble, but I mean, let's not forget the fumble he had was at a pretty critical moment of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, I would wager that the Chiefs team is better this year than it was that year. I mean, their leading receiver in the previous Super Bowl was Juju Smith-Schuster, which, I mean, he's back on the team again, but it was him, Kelsey, McKinnon, Justin Watson, Kadarius Toney. I mean, it was a handful of crap. I mean, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, they're much better receivers than those guys. Even though Hopkins is old, he's still better.
I would argue they've been more name than game when you just look at the raw numbers, but they're kind of doing the same thing that those guys were doing. Like, they just have more name behind them than the other guys. Like, they're not being asked to be superstars. I think that's actually a benefit for the Chiefs, that because they're not being asked to play like superstars. Like, I know that's a stretch for Hollywood Brown, but like, Hop isn't asked to be the number one. He wasn't asked to be number one over Worthy, and neither was Marquise. Like, Worthy really took it on himself to like, okay, like, this is my first year as a pro. I'm not going to play like a rookie. I'm going to play like a pro. So having him as the focal point, like, has actually worked well for them, because it can allow Hop and spacing Hollywood Brown, and then Kelsey can basically take a backseat too. Like,
yeah,
it's all a matter, and that's why I'm not going to bet them on the 8. It was like 8.5 for Kansas City Chiefs making catches, like, because that's
no.
I'm not taking that. Like, I don't think it's going to be 8, but they can spread the ball out around just situationally. Like,
yeah. So
it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see Slay go against Worthy, though, because Slay's definitely going to float on him, I bet.
Yeah, but Worthy is so fast. I don't know if Slay can keep up. So Slay's good, but he's not fast.
Yeah, he's almost a good decade older than him. So
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I mean, I've said that for, I don't know, whatever it is, 14, 15 weeks now. I'm going to stick with it. Chiefs are going to win. I'm sorry, James. I love your Eagles. I'm Eagle Eric. I want the Eagles to win, but if I'm putting money down, I'm putting my money on the Chiefs.
I want to be dead wrong too. I'll put it that way. I really excuse me. I really want to be wrong.
Yeah.
I really, really want to be wrong. I really want to celebrate an Eagles win, which you might never hear me say that again, but
yeah. I would love nothing more than to be here on Monday doing the podcast with James losing his marbles. That would be the best. I would love that for him. I would love that for our show. I would love that for everything. I don't want to do a show on Monday with depressed James.
Yeah. We've had enough depressing episodes. Like, even he was a good sport and was bummed out after our NFC Championship game. We were bummed out after this past Super Bowl. We've been bummed out. Like, we've been to NFC This is the first time that we've done this. This is the first year we've done the show where we didn't at least reach the NFC Championship. So we've had some pretty bummer episodes. Like,
yeah,
this one will be a particularly spicy bummer, though, because of the Chiefs securing the 3-peat and another. We'll have both lost 2 Super Bowls together, like, to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm done. Just done.
So. God, I mean, that's a special bond. That's a special bond we'll have, though.
It will be.
When will another generation be able to say that three friends who cheer for 2 different teams both lost to this other team twice in the Super Bowl? That's you realize how much real estate that is? 4 total Super Bowls.
That makes up a heck of a parlay.
Right. One hell of a future.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be
So,
like a $10 million payout.
yeah.
It's so funny. Hey, I don't know. It's hard for me to think of anything else to really say. It's time for the game, man. Like
Yeah.
this is for all the marbles. We're at the end.
Yeah.
And we can wax poetic about looking back at the season when we get there, but it's Super Bowl week. And if anybody that's not a Niners fan is watching this, why? But hopefully you're having a fun Super Bowl week. I think with this, before our sign off, it's time to thank once again our sponsor, as we do every week, Royal Retros. What is Royal Retros? Is your go-to place to get yourself an authentic throwback jersey, whether you're a football fan, basketball fan, or a fan of any of the major sports. They got you covered. And for all of us Bay Area fans, go check out their Candlestick collection. It's curated with us in mind. There's Giants gear for baseball. There's Niners gear for football. And when you find anything you like, use the promo code Shady Sports and you'll get 10% off of your entire order. Not just select items. It is your entire order. When you use the promo code Shady Sports, 10% off of everything in your cart. It helps us out. It helps Shady Sports, our parent, out. And yeah, just go get yourself something special. Again, it is promo code Shady Sports for 10% off your order at royalretros.com. Go get yourself an authentic throwback jersey today. I just realized I made this and I forgot to have it up there. Parlay time. Here we go. It still counts if I say it now. Check your local laws for if you can or can't gamble, and call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a problem. There we go. Now we're out of trouble, allegedly. Before I get ahead of myself, we are still selling t-shirts. Why are we selling t-shirts? Well, there's a little bit of a story behind that. We were inspired by the antics, let's say, of Dan Snyder and several other people, including a former Texans minority owner, my own Jim Irsay, and many other owners that just kind of seemingly get away with a bunch of stuff that eventually comes to light, or doesn't. But if it does come to light, it comes to light so many weeks or months later after the fact, and there's no accountability for them seemingly. So we think that juxtaposed to say we see Tyreek Hill get arrested literally like 3 hours before kickoff of his week 1 game, we think there's something unfair with that. So we started this hashtag owner accountability. Hashtag owner account. Let me take that again. Hashtag owner accountability. Owner standards over player standards. And to show we're putting our money where our mouth is, we are selling t-shirts for charity. The charity is Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. It is a women's shelter in Kentucky that does great work. Scroll back on our feed and listen to our interview with them. It's a great episode. They do wonderful things in the Kentucky area. Our first shirt just says owner standards over player standards. Hashtag owner accountability. We call this our hashtag shirt. And these are made to order. You can get them in a t-shirt, a long sleeve, a pullover hoodie, a crew neck sweatshirt, and any size that you can need. Pricing starting at $22.99. And again, all the proceeds are going to Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. Our second shirt usually isn't this one, but this is our alternate logo art, cover art. When you listen to the show, you'll see our typical cover art, but this is the alternate version of it with the goalposts and the peanuts. I think this looks best in red, but you can get it in different colors, just like all of these shirts. Again, styles and sizes made to order. Pricing starting at $22.99. Here is our cover art for when you listen to us on podcasts, on any podcast platform, or here on our YouTube channel. Now you can rock our logo anywhere you go while you're listening to us. And then our last shirt is a peanut eating a bowl of peanuts in his Niners hat and 3D glasses, because why not? Patiently waiting for the Super Bowl before the long 6-month sitting there waiting for anything. Really, it's only a month until free agency, so he'll have something to occupy him until kickoff next September. But yes, all those shirts are available at bonfire.com. The link to our Bonfire store is in the show notes, as well as more information on Mountain Comprehensive Care Center if you do want to donate to them directly. But yeah, all we want to do is get you a cool t-shirt and help some families in need. Again, all our proceeds go to the Mountain Comprehensive Care Center. Eric, this is the next episode we're going to be recapping the Super Bowl, and James
Yeah.
will either be we will all either be very, very happy, or we will all be very, very sad.
Indeed we will. So I'm just hoping it's a good game. That's all I can hope for at this point in time. I mean, I have no real vested interest other than rooting for the Eagles on James's behalf. But from my standpoint, I hope that it's a good game. I hope that it's entertaining. I hope that it's good football. I hope we have something to watch. I hope we have good stuff to talk about come Monday. And hopefully it's an Eagles win.
Yeah, hopefully. Not gonna lie, I cut the cable a while ago. I may be watching this game on Tubi because it's going to be on Tubi, and it says it's going to be in 4K on Tubi, which makes me happy. So I may check it out on Tubi. Give me an excuse to use it for the first time in probably a year, because I hate ads, and that's my first world problem, as I hate ads.
Do that as well, then. So now you say it's going to be in 4K. I may check it out on Tubi as well.
Yeah, dude, right? Like, you got a 4K TV, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then word. Yeah, no,
we'll
both
have a 4K TV now.
Right? Like, we just had to replace a TV upstairs, and it's the only way. It's the only time I've ever seen HD TVs still being made is like if you go under 40 inches, because we just got this little baby TV in the upstairs.
So let's hope for a good game, and for James' sake, let's hope for an Eagles win.
Yeah, 100%. And real quick, there was one news thing that I saw that I'll sign off with. George Kittle, our tight end, is going to be honored at the NFL Honors for the Salute to Service Award, which is awesome. Not the same as the Man of the Year award. Like, just don't get... It's still a phenomenal honor. Like, George, you're awesome. You earned it. I've heard a lot and have been aware of your love for our military, so that's awesome that you have earned this award. I don't think I'm getting tongue-tied trying to figure out what to say.
George is good people.
George is awesome. The real people's tight end.
That's right.
And with that, guys, we'll be back on Tuesday to talk about who won this crazy game. And yeah, we'll just see you then. Outro music is River Road by Justin Muth. Let's have a great Super Bowl, guys.
Later.
River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long. River Road, where have all the women gone? Have they kissed her hand and waved you bye-bye? Have they thought about crossing your double yellow lines? River Road, they love the way you whine and cry.